Ooh, crap. That's bad.
You may have noticed that I'm using this a lot. Like, I use it for like basically every single saw cut that I make, and like it's fine, but I'm about to do a rip on this, to rip this down to be a skinnier piece, and like it's just kind of super tedious. And this is an awesome tool. This Festool saw is amazing, but I've needed a miter saw for almost virtually every cut in this entire build. That's not usually the case, because usually I'm building like timber frame stuff, which is huge, which I use mostly hand tools with when I'm out at the in the mountains, or I'm building furniture, which is more like table saw and like specialty cuts where the Festool really helps there. But for stuff like this, where it's just rough cuts all over the place, the miter saw is super helpful. So I bought a miter saw last week, and I think it's getting here today. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna switch over to that. I'll let you know how it works. It's the DeWalt sliding miter saw, and I've got the table too, so I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully it'll speed things up and make things even more accurate, so I don't have to actually like measure the angles myself and everything. I'll just be able to set the angle on the miter saw, so that'll be really cool. I have a table saw. It's up in the mountains. I'm actually bringing it back down here, and I have a jointer too. Neither one of those things are in the shop. I haven't really needed it for this project because, again, it's like really rough stuff, but it's been fun building this thing. But I'm getting those things, I'm moving them back here pretty shortly, so like it'll be awesome to have those things and like have the full set of all my tools to be able to make all these different cuts. But for right now, for today, it's gonna be a lot more of this, so we'll see how it goes. So I took this top from here and just put it down below because I don't really know why I started putting it on the top of this rather than screwing it to the bottom, because if I screw it to the bottom and cut out this piece, then the chickens will be able to just walk in here and have more room inside of this rather than stepping up onto a platform and having to like crouch down to be inside of this space. So I'm just putting this bottom piece on the bottom rather than on the top, so I think it'll be a lot better that way. This will actually be way better because now I'm actually going to keep this, and what will happen is the chickens will have to climb, will just step up over this, but this little box will hold all of the pine shavings and stuff that they'll bed down in and lay their eggs in. So, I mean, this is way better. It gets more depth, and it gives me like a little box that I can hold all the eggs and pine shavings and stuff in way easier. So next thing to do is just close this in and put a little top on it with a little hinge. So that's, yeah, that sometimes, you know, like planning it out is nice and it does probably save time in the long run, like I said in the last video, but sometimes when you're just kind of in it and you can just unscrew something or take something apart and flip it around and just look at it, it just makes sense like immediately. Sometimes you're like, well, no. Well, at least it allows you to make a decision way faster. So I think this is a win. So I'm just gonna screw this in, and then this will be a really nice box for the eggs to sit in.